Alrighty, we're going to be installing a double gang old work box. We're going to be coming out of a switch and a GFI in a bathroom, and the bathroom's on its own circuit, and this is for like a workbench in a shop. Here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, white is neutral, the bare the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a switch loop or a 220-240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. We're hooking up a 110-120 volt outlet. Okay, so we will trace our box out here. We'll put it about right here. I'll go across here, mark down through here, over here, and down, and across our bottom here and here. And now we have our lines, our markings where our box goes. And now we can use our cover plate for our square to go across the bottom. Here. Here. Okay, so now we can cut our box out. Let's poke our saw into the wall there. We'll come over to our edge. Making shallow cuts in case there's a wire in the wall. Down the other edge here. Our other box is right over here. So now I'm going to make sure this box fits in here, and it's going to fit in there nice and snug. So this is the GFI switch and outlet we're going to be coming out of here. So we'll push our wire down through into the box here. See, I broke that little tabby inside there. So watch for this wire coming out on the other side. Well, you know what? It might just be easier to feed it up this way. Back. If you can't reach on the other side, you can't reach. So you don't get upset, you don't get frustrated. Just do it the hard way. It's the other way. Well, if something's not possible, sometimes it's not possible. You don't complain about it. You don't carry on about it either. You just accept the facts and you just can't do it. This is going through. Sometimes you just have to inch it. You just have to inch it. And you don't get upset. You don't carry on. You don't get frustrated. You just inch it. That's all. Just inch. Just a little inch at a time. And it'll go. Frustrating will not put it in. No. I don't want to break this, but if I have to, you know what? You have to. Well, I'd rather not. But if it does, it does. It's not going to change anything. Fast your cue, you don't complain, you don't frustrate. Okay, now we can push this back. Here we go. So now we'll go back over on the other side and hook our double outlet box up. Okay, so I'll just pop our little opening out to put our wire through here. There we go. We got enough wire in here. When you tighten the screw up, these little tabbies swing out and they'll lock the box into place. So we set it in our wall like that. Snug it up. You don't want to tighten it too much because then you'll break the plaster out. Okay, it's nice and snug. Nice and snug. So we'll get our wire stripped here. Just rip the end here, so if we hit the wire underneath, it's where it's going to be stripped anyway. Oh, this wire rips nice and easy. That is nice. Okay, so we're gonna the wire clip out all over here like that. Okay, so here in the country I was born in, our white is the neutral, our bare or green wire is the ground, our black is live. So we'll score our wires where we're going to strip them. So I'll make a score here with our number 12 slot. And I'll make another one about right here. This will save putting in wire nuts too, and save a little money for the extra parts. Notch here, notch here. Okay, and I just take our insulation off like this. There we go. Okay, we'll take our outlet, we'll close the screws we're not going to use. Use our ground. Looks like I have to just take a little more on the white wire here, so I'll just go like that, and I can just, small enough where I can just break the, I'll use the knife and cut it off. There it is. There's our piece that we cut. Okay, so now we'll fold our loop. So our loop is in the middle. Get our insulation even on the top and the bottom here. Put our white on the silver colored screw like this. And we'll close our loop like this. Make sure it's nice and tight like that. Now I can slide this insulation up a little bit because it's a little long. So what I'll do is I'll just slide it up a little bit like that. There it is. Now it's up onto the blue, so that's what we want there. Now we'll get our ground wire. Over here on our green colored screw, we'll go around. We'll close at the direction our screw turns. Like that. You want to make sure you get the copper under the screw head all the way around. And like that, our copper is under all the way around. Okay, now we'll turn it around. And we'll put our black on our brass colored screw. If you look at the outlet, you'll notice the slots are different. The live is a narrower slot and the neutral is a wider one. And I'll show you that on the next one here. There we go. We'll go around our terminal here. Close our loop a little bit. Like that. Okay, there we are. We got our black hooked up. Okay, now we can put our first outlet into the box. We'll keep our ground down at the bottom, and black and white. And this is the kind of box you can just push the screws in without having to screw them. Oh, that one's not coming. Push our ground wire down and push it over some so it's not forcing against anything, and it's not going to just tighten the bottom in by hand. I'll see how that goes in like that. We'll center it here. Center this one. So there's our first outlet. So if you look at an outlet, you'll see the brass screw is the live, and that is the narrow slot. The white goes on the silver screw, which is neutral, and you'll see the slot over here is wider than the other one. So now we'll hook up our last outlet here. Again, I'll close the screws I'm not using so that they're out of the way so they don't touch something we don't want them to touch. Okay, I'll put our ground wire on our green screw. Okay, there's our ground wire. I'll put our white on the silver color screw. You always put your wire around the screw, the direction that the screw turns. Make sure it's nice and tight. We have a good solid connection. Now we'll flip this over. We'll fold our white down and up like an accordion. We'll keep our ground wire down at the bottom and keep it like that. Now we'll hook our black wire up on the brass colored screw. You always put it around the screw the direction the screw turns, like this. Close the loop. Make sure it's nice and tight. We have a good solid connection like that. And we'll put it down like that. Put it into our box. Make sure the wires aren't going to hit anything. Make sure our ground wire stays down. Sometimes you have to push them in with a screwdriver. Something goes. Just turn it. Yeah, let's make sure the ground wire is down away from everything. Now we can finish this off by just putting our cover on here. Over on here. So there, we got our double outlet in. Okay, so we'll disconnect this here. We'll get our live wire out. Get it out of the way here. Get our neutrals out. slide back up here. So we'll get our ground wires down here and get them out of our way. Untwist it, so. I'll take our black one off of here so I can bring it up above. That way I can get all our ground wires down in the bottom here. Get it down here like this. I'll just wrap it in with this here. Okay, now I'll put them all so they're even here on the end. This is our crimp sleeves and crimper. We'll stick our crimp sleeve in here like this. Slide it over all the wires here. Make sure they're all in. No, I have to twist them down a little bit more. Get them all in. I got a little bit more. In. Really twist really hard to get all these wires to go in. They got them even, so I gotta clip them here. Just tap this in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to make sure I have all my wires. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I'm just try to push this on a little further. I can. But if I can't, I can't. It's up as far as it's going to be. They're just about flush with the top there. So I'm going to take my crimper. And I'm going to go get down here towards the bottom. I'm just going to tap it in, make sure it's not as hard as I need, so just about flush. Get down like this. Okay, so I see all our wires are in the crimp. Okay, so we'll get all our white wires together here, and we'll go to our GFI. The bathroom has to be GFI protected. Okay, we'll cut out some tail wires out of our romex here. So we'll get all our white wires together here. Get insulation even at the bottom. And we'll get our fourth one in here. We'll get our insulation even at the bottom like this. Just twist it in. And we'll cut it so it's even with the shortest one here. Okay, now I'll hold this tail wire here and we'll stick our wire nut on. Making sure they're all even. Stick our red wire nut on. I'll make sure it's nice and tight. And we'll make sure our insulation is up inside the wire nut. I'm going to go grab my flashlight. Oh, here it is. Okay, it looks like all our insulation is in. Okay, so now we can get our white wires back in our grounds and our white wires back into our box here. This is our live wire here. push this back behind our switch where we have more room. Okay, so now we'll get our white into our GFI here. So we'll strip. I'll just hold it up here to make sure I got a good strip length. Yes, I do. So I'll put it in on our white line side, and I'll just stick it in our bowl here. Make sure it's tight. My screw head's a little mutilated, so there it is, it's tight. Okay, so we'll bring it around, and we'll put our black one on our live side. I'll check our strip length. Okay, it's a little long. There's a good length right there. We'll put it in. Make sure it's tight. This was the black one going out. Okay, so we're going to get this to go into our box here. It's not going to fit, it's not going to fit. Pissing and moaning's not going to change anything. So we have to change our ground wire off because it's too short. But you know what? Pissing and moaning doesn't fix it. So you just take it apart. You just take it apart and you just do it all again. What a wonderful joy. So, undo them all. I'll just try to see if I can take this crimp sleeve off, which I did. Throw it away. I'll take the one off from the GFI. If something doesn't go, it doesn't go. You don't piss and moan about it. It doesn't go. And I don't have any more of the big ones, crimp sleeves, so we're just going to use wire nuts. And if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. But we're not going to carry on. We're not going to frustrate. If something does not go, it does not go. Okay, so I'm going to clip and make them even here. I'm going to count my wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to look at the end here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. They're not all even, so I'm going to twist them some more. They're not all even, but you don't piss and moan, you don't carry on, you just keep going, you just do the best you can. Okay, these are all even with the shortest one. Now I'll make sure all 5 wires are there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now they're all even. And now I'll put my wire nut on. I hold my tail so everything stays even. Okay, so now we can put our white wires back in. Get nice tight back here, get our grounds up here. And back out the way. Okay, we'll put our ground wire around our green screw. Okay, our copper is under the screw head all the way around there. Okay, let's double check, make sure my black is tight with the Phillips. Make sure my white is tight. I'll fold that up so it goes behind all this here. Make sure my white wire is tight. Okay, it's tight. Okay, now I'll put the GFI into the box, keeping our ground wire back away from everything. Okay, so I'm going to have to put a shim under here. Okay, this side of the box is angled back a little bit, so we're going to put a shim right here. And we'll screw it in right here. lift this ground wire up so it doesn't touch. It's going to touch the neutral, so I have to lift it up. Yeah, I gotta push those wires back some more. Okay, there we got our ground wire up out of the way of everything. I lost my nut, but you know what? I'm not frustrating. I'm just going to go and get another one. Okay, I got two because this is back quite a bit down here. So I'll put one here, one here. Okay, now it's going to screw down nice and flush and tight here. Okay, that fit nice and tight. And our plaster ears come up high enough here so I don't have to put washers in this one. Okay, it's all the way tight. Okay, I'll just make sure everything is all back out of the way here. I'm going to push this ground wire back. I want to make sure I don't hit the conductors when I push them back. Well, it's the best it can be. You don't carry on, you don't frustrate, you don't get upset, you don't carry on. It's the best it's going to be. Okay, so I've got one our backup goes to our light. Okay, so now we can get our black wires together here. Okay, so this is the black one that goes to our new outlet we just put in. This is the black one that goes to the switch. And this one is the one for going power to the switch. So we're just gonna, I'm gonna just clip all these wires nice and even here. I'll strip them so that they're even. So let's get all our wires even here. I'm going to twist 3 together, and I'll put the 4th one in without twisting it, because it's hard to get 4 twisted evenly. There's 2. That's just slightly wrong there. This one is the power wire. Let's push this back a little bit here. There they are. Okay, we'll get all our wires even like that. Take our wire nut and just twist it in. Just make sure it's grabbing. All of them are in, and it's grabbing them all. And just double check here, everything's all even. Go on evenly. Okay, so we got it all in. So now we just put our device back into the box here. Push this back and get it in. Nope, this round wire is in the way, so I have to take it off. Now we get our black wires back in out of the way there. Put that in here. There's our loop. This is our box. Here in the country I was born in, up is on and down is off. Oops. Comments not fitting. Our box is a little warped, so you just do the best you can. You don't get frustrated. You don't carry on. It is what it is. You don't frustrate. The box is warped. You just do the best you can. I don't even carry on. I don't frustrate. I don't piss and moan. You just do the best you can. Alright, so I want to make sure our cover screws aren't going to hit the wires. I'm just going to push on this black wire, not make sure it's not pinched. It's not, so we'll stick our cover back on. Since the box is warped, it is what it is. You just can't carry on, you can't piss and moan, because you know what? It's not going to change anything. Nothing at all. So we'll just do the best we can. There it goes. We'll just force it, and in it goes. Alrighty, so we are all set. So that is how to wire a double gang outlet box, an old work box, from one side of the wall into the other side of the wall to where there's a GFI receptacle, power coming in, going to the GFI receptacle, and the bathroom light. Peace. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, for residential wiring here in the country I was born in, we use a 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. And the easiest way to tell them apart is your 14 has a white colored jacket on it, and your 12 has a yellow colored jacket on it. 14 is for bedrooms and lighting circuits. 12 is for your kitchen and appliance circuits, and they recommend 12, but 14 is allowed for like the bedroom, the living room. But in the kitchen, you have to have number 12, and it has to be on a 20 amp breaker. A minimum of 2 circuits, but 3 or 4 is recommended. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching. Peace.